Welcome back to another Wolf the Legend video. Appreciate all the love and support on the previous videos I posted. I know it's been a few weeks since we put one out, but you know, real life sometimes throws haymakers, and it takes your boy a while to get up off the canvas. But we up and we back with a Skull Servant deck list. Shout outs to Melfi. Hopefully I got the name right. Should be up on the screen right around here. But yeah, Melfi wanted to get some help with a Skull Servant deck list, so I did my due diligence in my research, and this is what I came up with. This is inspired by some of the deck lists that I've seen online. I'm aware that there is a grass is greener version, which to me is probably more nutty, more fun. Don't know how consistent it would be. There's also a Shiranui version, which again, don't know how consistent that would be. To me, I like my deck list tight, right at 40 and consistent. And I think this might be a little more consistent, a little more tight. There's definitely room to play around, and hopefully this gets you started in the right direction, Melfi. And you already know how we do these. We are going to do this introduction, then we're going to do the deck list. So I'm going to go through all of the cards on video. The deck list should be in the description as well, so you can copy and paste whatever you need, just in case you don't understand what I am saying for the card name, or if you're unable to read it on the screen due to maybe text size or just maybe being hard of seeing. And then we're going to go into what the deck wants to do, what you're going to want to do going first, second, as well as some quick start combos to get you familiar with the deck. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the deck list. So you're going to want to run Skull Servant at 3, King of the Skull Servants at 2, Wightmare at 3, Wightprince at 3, Wightbaking at 3, the Lady in White at 3, Uni-Zombie at 2, Eldlich the Golden Lord at 2, Raigeki, Foolish Burial, Allure of Darkness at 3, Pot of Extravagance at 2, Lightning Storm, Eldlixir of Black Awakening at 2, Cursed Eldland at 2, Burial from a Different Dimension at 2, Forbidden Droplet at 1, Eldlixir of Scarlet Sanguine at 2, and Conquistador of the Golden Land at 2. For the extra deck, you're going to want Brionic, Dragon of the Ice, Celestial Wolf Lord, Blue Sirius, Black Rose Dragon, Shiranui Squiresaga, Shiranui Shogunsaga, Shiranui Sunsaga, Slacker Magician at 2, number 39 Utopia Roots, Shadow Lich, or number 48 Shadow Lich at 2, Divine Arsenal, AA-Zeus Sky Thunder, Linkuriboh, Avendread Savior. Again, that deck list will be in the description. Now, what does this deck want to do? Well, I'm glad you asked. This deck wants to summon a beefy Skull Servant, or rather King of the Skull Servants, and beat your face in. That's just simply what the deck wants to do. That's going to be the win condition you will want for this. This is way more of a fun deck than meta deck, but I believe that this or some kind of variant of this can actually compete and get you to the highest rank within Master Duels. Again, you're looking to get to the highest rank. You're not necessarily looking to take this into competitive tournaments hosted through maybe Duel Links Meta or even the guys at Duel Links Entertainment. You're looking for just, can you climb ladder with this and have fun? I believe this accomplishes that. And so you're going to want to bring out a beefy King of Skull Servants and beat face in. You can win with Eldlich, of course. You can also win with the extra deck, since this deck does feature Shiranui cards that you can get into and we'll get into that combo a little bit later, but you can get into them, which will help you in your combos to be able to win. You can also summon Zeus by just attacking with one of these XZ monsters, and in your main phase 2 you can summon Zeus, in case any of you were wondering how the heck I'm going to summon this level 12 XZ monsters. Okay, so going first with this deck, you're going to want to set up Slacker Magician or Utopia Roots. These are going to be the easiest setups, as they only require 2 level 1 monsters, which is relatively easy to summon with the deck, because of just the different special summons that the Wight monster line in this deck can pull off. Slacker Magician can keep itself alive during either player's turn. When a card or effect is activated, the target is face-up card. You can attach material and negate the activation. And once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. So it can keep itself alive through effect or battle. Utopia Roots. When any player's monster declares an attack, you can attach one XZ material from this card, negate the attack. And if you negated an XZ monster attack, this card gains 500 equal to that monster's rank, or gains attack equal to that monster's rank times 500. Pardon me. So probably aim for the Slacker Magician over the Roots, but if for whatever reason you believe you could get the Roots and get a nice boost for attack, go for it. You can also set up a Shadow Lich. Once per turn, during your opponent's turn, you can detach one XZ material from this card, special summon one Phantom token. And while you control a Phantom token, your opponent cannot target this card for attacks. This card gains 500 attack for each Phantom token you control. Now you can combo this with Wightbaking. If a level 3 or lower zombie monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can discard this card instead. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can then add 2 monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, except Wightbaking, that are either Skull Servant or specifically list Cold Servant in the hand. So that's a great protect and setup for the following turn to get into that Skull Servant OTK. And you can also set that up with any other zombie monster that's 3 stars or lower that you would like to. And of course, any of these setups you can combo with a Eldlixir of Scarlet Sanguine to set up for your Eldlich summon. So that is what the deck is going to want to do going first. Going second, you're going to want to turbo out a beefy Skull Servant or Eldlich and or combo extra deck monsters to win the game. So of course, the most fun is going to be turboing something out the King of Skull Servants, and some combos that can help you do this, or just some useful combos to get more familiar with the deck, is going to be, we got Uni-Zombie combo number 1. So he's going to be a really important card to the deck. If you can figure out a way to maybe play a third copy of it, go for it. Otherwise, I think 2 should work, especially with some of the draw mechanics from Allure of Darkness or Pot of Extravagance. But you're going to want to use Uni-Zombie's first and second skill to send Wightbaking or Wightprince or King of Skull Servants if you need to put it into the grave, because you have a way to special summon it onto the board. It's going to be a lot easier to get his attack high if you can special summon it, or just summon it from your hand, or like I said, special summon it from the grave. If you have to special summon it using, let's say, Wightprince's effect, go for it, especially if you have Foolish or Berry from different dimension to be able to put the pieces back to then get his attack back high. Because once you send Wightprince to the graveyard, he then can send a Skull Servant and a Lady in White from hand and or deck to the graveyard. You're probably going to want to put them from the deck to the graveyard. And then his second part of his effect is you can banish 2 Skull Servants, which everything in the grave at this point is going to be called Skull Servant, and this card from your graveyard to special summon 1 King of the Skull Servant from your deck. So that's why this deck is running, or yeah, this deck is running 2 King of the Skull Servants, because you can actually special summon him from the deck in a number of ways. So that is how you can turbo him out. And you can also combo that. So this leads me into the Wightprince combo. Is use Wightprince's first ability and second ability to get King of the Skull Servant out, and then bury from different dimension, equals 3000 attack King of the Skull Servants. And if you can combo that with maybe a Foolish Burial to send another Wightprince from the deck to the grave, or send not a Lady in White, actually might be Lady in White, or no, is it? Yeah, I think just you will want to target another Wightprince or Wightbaking, because if Wightbaking is sent to the grave, you can add 2 monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, except Wightbaking, that are specifically Skull Servant or this Skull Servant monsters in their hand. So that's an extension of combos, and then you can discard a card. So you can add another Skull Servant to the grave, so boom, that's 4000. If you sent another Wightbaking, he can again add another Skull Servant and Lady in White, so that's 6 Skull Servants in grave. That's 6000 attack King of the Skull Servants. Hopefully you're seeing the potential here and how you can one turn OTK, especially if you can combine it with an Eldlich or any of these extra deck monsters. Which brings me to my Uni-Zombie combo number 2. Uni-Zombie, because of his ability, and he can target himself, lets you access Squiresaga by Uni-Zombies at 4 stars and a 3-star monster. So that could be Lady in White. If you are able to special summon that or summon that to the board alongside Uni-Zombie. It could be for Shogunsaga. You can do Uni-Zombie at 5 stars plus a 3-star monster. So once again, Lady in White. And I know you're wondering, how the heck are you going to get the Sunsaga? Well, that's Uni-Zombie at 5 stars. And Conquistador of the Golden Land is also at 5 stars. And that's going to be how you get into the Sunsaga. Which these Shiranui cards combo really well with zombie monsters, and they're going to be able to allow you to extend combos and push for really big numbers. And so those are going to be some starting combos that will be able to get you a little more familiar with the deck and what the deck wants to do. It features a few board wipe cards such as Raigeki or Lightning Storm. Even Zeus can board wipe. It is a quick effect that lets you detach 2 materials and send all of the cards from the field to the graveyard. And again, that lets some things pop off depending on what you have. If sent to the grave, you can then get off Wightprince's effect. I don't believe you could get off King of the Skull Servant effect, because it's got to be destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard to be able to banish one other King of the Skull Servants or Skull Servant from the grave to special summon itself back. But you can wipe your opponent's board and have a 3000 attack monster, and maybe the potential to special summon a monster from Wightprince's effect. Again, just depending on board state. You also have Black Rose Dragon as an option to pop your opponent's board, or Brionic, the Dragon of Ice, to send something from your opponent's board back at the cost of using cards from your hand, and open up your opponent and go for that OTK. The deck can run hand traps. I personally think that with some combinations that people can get into hand traps, and you would only be able to run literally like maybe 3 to 6 hand traps in this deck, it's not going to be super effective. And you really would rather have Allure of Darkness or Pot of Extravagance to help you filter and search and get certain things into the graveyard or banish, especially if you can combo with Burial from a different dimension. So that is my take on Skull Servants, Skull of Eldlich. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile / deck list. Again, you should be able to find timestamps in the deck list in the description. Do you play Skull Servants? What's your deck list, or what are some of your favorite Skull Servant combos? Please tell me in the comments below. I usually respond to all of the comments that I can, and it's nice engagement and people learn quite a bit. Again, my videos are kind of geared towards people that just are getting into this, or just beginner level players for Master Duels, and just easily accessible content and lists and profiles to get you started on your Yu-Gi-Oh journey, or help you take that next step in your Yu-Gi-Oh journey. Appreciate all the love and support, and until next time, Wolf out. Peace.